Hey everybody, welcome back to 13 Rings, an NFC East podcast. I'm your host Lucas with Maurice and Earl, or as Maurice has his name on this video call, One More. Because unless you were living underneath a rock, you should know that the Philadelphia Eagles, despite my chagrin, are going to the NFL's Super Bowl 59 after mollywhopping the Commanders. For full raw reactions, make sure you check out our YouTube special as well as on any episode really, but episode 79.5. Okay, it's a special that we did, just me and Maurice giving our raw reaction. You hear me pretty emotional, which is not normal, but that's okay because you know what, it's Maurice's turn to go first this time.
Talk about it, Maurice. You went first yesterday. You got your feelings out a little bit.
I got my feelings out, and I don't hate you. To be clear, I don't hate you. I just was my feelings. I can't hate you, buddy. You're a big old lovable guy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said yesterday, GG's, Lucas.
Absolutely, GG's.
Yeah, this was a BTA, as some people would say. I would consider this we little Brody, you guys. That's what it was.
Landslide victory.
Okay, now don't start with the smack talk because I'm calm right now.
No,
don't do that little bro stuff. Okay,
do the smack talk.
That's going to give me hype.
Let it all out. Throw the kitchen sink.
I want to hear it.
No, we little bro, you guys. I mean, smack talk coming both ways. Joe Witt had his saying. He talked a little smack about Jalen Hurts. If he runs, we're going to treat him like a running back. Well, he did run. And there was no real.
He slid too quick.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, he's going to protect himself. You don't want to get hit. Who wants to get hit? But anyway, 55-23. It was close for a half. I'll give you that. You mentioned it yesterday. I'm trying not to repeat myself from yesterday, but I do have some more information after going back and watching highlights. Jaden Daniels played a great game, and he did not lose the game for you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, this was nothing on Jaden Daniels. This was the supporting cast and the coaching.
Yeah, you're going to talk about I know you're going to mention that first drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know you're going to mention that. But yeah, this was his supporting cast, his veterans who are supposed to lead him really came up small in this game. Now, overall, you had 4 turnovers. Can't win football games, especially in January, with 4 turnovers. Now you beat us in November, and we had 5 turnovers.
I think it was December, but
December.
Okay.
It was December. Yeah, and you guys had 5 turnovers and still won. Now that was a rarity, obviously, because we didn't have a quarterback.
Well, it's not like Kenny Pickett's terrible. He won you the next game against the Cowboys.
Fair. But in the matchup that we're recalling now, that was a big difference. It's a much bigger difference when you don't have your starting quarterback. Now, we both had our starting quarterbacks. We talked about this last week. You said if we're going to lose this game, it's going to be on the arm of Jalen Hurts. You lost the game because of Jalen Hurts' arm.
Yeah. Look, he did. I mean, it wasn't just Jalen Hurts. Let's be clear.
So the turnovers helped, yeah.
Yeah, the turnovers and Saquon doing Saquon things helps. But Jalen Hurts' arm only propelled you guys. It did not deter you guys.
Put it to you like this. Now, to be fair, we beat you guys with 7 rushing touchdowns, which tied the NFL record.
Yeah, I know. You guys have actually the most rushing yards in any postseason in NFL history.
Yeah, now that tied a 1940 record by the Chicago Bears, who beat the Commanders 73-0. Now that was a butt kicking, but that's the 40s. I mean, that was a long time ago. So, in modern era, this was a rushing beatdown. Let's just put it to you like that. Now, with that said, though, Jalen Hurts was 20 for 28 for 245. All Jalen Hurts had to do, and I mentioned this last week, if he passed for more than 225, 250, and Saquon rushed for more than 125, you guys were in a world of hurt because our defense will keep you guys from at least not scoring 30 like you did on the you scored 40 on the Lions. So you wasn't going to score that much on the Eagles. The score had to be low for you to have a chance. Our defense, listen, they were hunting for that football. They were punching that football every chance they got.
Absolutely.
You guys were just dropping the fumbles, dropping cash all over the place.
We had the case of the fumbleitis yesterday. It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad. But back to Jalen Hurts, listen, he passed for 245, 1 passing touchdown. He had to be contained for you to have a real chance at winning this game. Yeah, and he rushed for 3 touchdowns. Only had 16 yards rushing. But between Saquon Barkley, and I'm not even going to count Will Shipley because that was garbage time, but that was embarrassing.
Will Shipley is built like a fullback. I know he's only 209 pounds, but he looks like a dang fullback.
Well, and one thing you know for sure is he doesn't have the breakaway speed because he should have ended that run.
Yeah.
But he got caught. So, but he rushed for 77 yards, but that was garbage time. Shout out to him though, first career rushing touchdown. Good for him. But Saquon Barkley was the real star once again. You had to contain Saquon Barkley for you to have a shot, and you couldn't. I mean, literally the first play of the game.
So can I talk about that first play because I know what went wrong there.
Well, guys fell down.
Well, no, let me explain how that led to that, okay? So let me just you roll in your eyes, but let me explain what happened. Dante Fowler saw the play going, and instead of trying to run off the block, he tried to spin off the block, got his feet caught underneath of him, which stopped Bobby Wagner from getting to the outside. And then, of course, Saquon Barkley, Earl, don't you start with me. Y'all can't see Earl right now, but Earl's laughing at me.
No, that was... I can't believe that happened. I turned away for a split
but you know
second.
what I'm talking about.
The spin move. Still, ain't no way that much momentum would send them that way. You can't deny it. I looked at that play at least 20 times, and I was like, you can still tackle him.
Well, the problem is that also our secondary is pretty weak here outside of Jeremy Chin, and he just couldn't get a good hold of him.
I tell you what, Lucas, your secondary need to learn how to tackle.
I think our secondary needs to have a revamp, but, we'll get to that. We'll get to that during this offseason. Don't worry about that.
Your defensive coach need to get out of the press box.
Yes. Well, we will. I'll let you talk about that when we get there.
Yeah,
cool. But anyway, getting back to you, Maurice. Sorry.
The first play. Saquon. 2 guys fall down up the line. Saquon gets up the field, does a pirouette, and then runs to the middle of the field. Everybody's going insane. Tom Brady's stunned. Everybody was just shocked. I mean, really the first play. That's your main objective as a defense. You got to stop Saquon. Everybody knows that. And that was a gut punch to start the game. It truly was a gut punch. Now, from there, Saquon had 15 carries overall. Only had 15 carries for the game, which is crazy in itself. But he had 118 and 3 touchdowns. His long was 60 yards, of course.
His first 2 touches were touchdowns.
Yes. He averaged for the game 7.9 yards per carry. I mean, that's just an overall failure in your defense. A.J. Brown, 6 catches for 96 yards. 1 touchdown. Now, you said yesterday, and it shocked me, and I want to bring it up again. Mm-hmm. You said you do not want to bring Marshawn Lattimore back.
I don't.
What happened to that energy overall? What happened to the energy earlier in the season when you were saying Lattimore's going to shut down A.J. Brown?
Look.
You did say that.
I was proven wrong.
Receipts.
I was proven wrong. Okay?
A.J. Brown was a great receiver.
I was proven wrong. And honestly, he wasn't the only one that lit up Lattimore. Mike Evans had his way too. But it wasn't even the fact that he got beat. It's the fact with all the dang penalties. He had 3 penalties essentially in a row. And I will say this. I'm not saying that Marshawn did not deserve to get penalized for that scuffle on the goal line. But if you tear off a man's face mask, I don't care if you were the instigator or not. You should get a penalty just as well. And Earl's shaking his head yes because he knows I'm right.
I actually do agree with you as well. There should have been
saying they caught the second person. For some reason, they always catch the second person, but not the first person.
It should have
I'll
been
explain his
that
helmet
should have
being
been a
on the
penalty,
ground. Marshawn didn't tear it off. But, okay, you know what? That didn't... the game was already lost at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you good, Maurice, or do you still need to keep on going? Because now you got me right back up.
I need to keep on going. Don't rush me, Lucas, on this one.
Okay.
Let me cook and eat, for goodness sake. Dallas Goedert, 7 catches for 85 yards. He was a big help, too. They had no answer for Dallas Goedert. If this was a tight end off between Goddard and Ertz, both of them had great games. Ertz was one of your shining stars yesterday, one of the few. That Devontae Smith catch.
I do want to note that Brandon Graham gave Ertz some love in the tunnel after the game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I saw that. Was the Devontae Smith catch a catch, Lucas?
Devontae Smith catch?
The one on the sideline.
Oh, no. Yeah, but that's not what I was talking about.
Okay, all right. I just heard some people say that wasn't a catch.
Oh, no, that was a catch. I mean, it was inconclusive. I'm going to go with the guy on the field. It was hard to see at the angle that they had it.
Okay. All right. I do want to shout out the defense. Although the defense gave up 23 points, I thought the defense played really well overall.
Jalen Carter's dirty.
I wouldn't say Jalen Carter's dirty.
He punched Sam Cosmi. He sucker punched Sam Cosmi at the end of the game.
It was a smack, Lucas.
He knocked him on his butt.
Well, I mean, hey, don't start a fight you can't finish.
He didn't start it.
Carter is a big dude, though. He is a big dude.
He smacked Carter.
David Daniels on one arm in college. Dude built different.
Yeah, he did the same thing to Stafford last week. Well, anyway, he smacked him. It wasn't a punch. He smacked him. He had to put him in check a little bit there. Yeah, overall, we had 3 fumble recoveries. Listen, you guys had butterfingers. But that's also a testament to the defense as well. We forced the fumbles. So, good job on our defense. 3 sacks overall. Listen, Jaden Carter is hard to get down. So 3 sacks is cool with me. Oren Burks, Nolan Smith, who's been a revelation for us for the last, I want to say, 8 to 10 games. He's really turned it on. From a former first round pick. Shout out to Nolan Smith. Keep going, man. And Jordan Davis. Our nose tackle got up and sacked Jaden Carter. That was an impressive.
Not too many sacks given up, considering how good you guys are on the defensive line, though. You want to note that.
Yeah. Jake Elliott still might be an issue. Hopefully he's not in 2 weeks. And Quinyon Mitchell, I want to shout him out because he had a hell of a season.
Okay, that interception was not even...
Why? Come on now, Lucas.
No, Jaden was forcing stuff, okay? At that point, it was garbage time. They were trying to get points up on the board, okay? Jaden wouldn't have made... that was a garbage time interception, and you know it.
All right, then. He forced it. All right. But Quinyon Mitchell still called it for an interception while he was covering your number 1 receiver. Now, listen. Terry McLaurin had 3 receptions for 51 yards and a touchdown. You know, the 3 receptions is the most important part here. Because in a championship game, you want your number 1 receiver to get as many targets as possible. And for him to be covered by Quinyon Mitchell, and he only had 3 catches. Now, the touchdown, he wasn't even being defended by Quinyon. He was defended by Slay. Slay is 33 years old, but still a serviceable quarterback, though, in the NFL. But on Quinyon Mitchell, he had 2 catches. So, shout out Quinyon Mitchell, man. He's going to be our lockdown defender in the secondary for many years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I gave a lot of kudos to the management yesterday when we recorded our episode, or half episode. Just want to say, shout out Howie Roseman for putting his team together. He did a hell of a job this offseason with the signings. If Saquon Barkley is the best signing in the offseason, Zach Bond is right behind him because he's playing at a very high level. Then he had a great draft with Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Just a tremendous offseason by Howie Roseman. I want to shout him out. And,
You don't sound so excited now, Maurice. What's going on? You lost the energy here.
No. You got one more to go.
He's giving them their flowers. He'll give them even more flowers after they get that one more win.
Yes, you got to finish the job here. I'm not going to get too much into the matchup yet. We'll do that later, but I think most of the NFL community is rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles. Most people don't want to see a three-peat. Oh, thank you, Mal.
Sorry, Maurice.
Why is that, Mal? Tell us why.
Division rival.
Yeah, why would I root for the Eagles?
Saquon?
No. That's got nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I would never root for the Eagles. Sorry, Maurice. I would expect him not to root for the Giants.
The Eagles.
So.
Yeah, so most of the NFL world is rooting for us. They don't want to see the Chiefs win again. No, we don't want to see it. Well, we're gonna get our blood back this time. We gotta get revenge. You know, we are the better team on paper. We have the more talent. I take our defense over their defense, and we have more better skill players than they do.
So you just need to deliver.
We need to deliver. But real quick before I end, Lucas. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw it off to you, but Lucas, please explain what the heck happened on that goal line stance. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a referee say, if you guys do this again, we're going to give them points. What? That was crazy.
Okay, to be fair, so Frankie Louvu said that they were just trying to time it right, okay? I believe Frankie on that. I don't... I believe Frankie on that. That being said, that jump over the offensive line is meme-worthy, and it has become plenty of memes. And despite being Commanders fan, I find them quite funny. Like that one meme of that person in the court jumping and attacking the judge. That's essentially what happened here. And I'm all for making fun of that because that was fun. All right, so had some time to think about this. And mainly now, I'm already in the process of like, okay, who stays, who goes, okay? This game was a big teller of who stays, who goes. Everybody that fumbled can kick rocks as far as I'm concerned. We don't need them. Even Austin Eckler. I love Austin, but if you're going to be giving us fumbleitis in big games like that, look, your health issue, your hands now an issue. We can't have that. Diami, you had a great playoff run until this game. I hope you the best of luck, but it ain't going to be in DC. Okay, can't do it. Can't do it in these big games. Okay, this is the second game out of 3 games against the Eagles where you had a costly fumble. Okay, and I find something interesting in the last game that we won against you guys. We had 3 fumbles, right? 2 by Brian Robinson, 1 by Diami. And this last game, we had 2 running backs have responsible for 2 fumbles. And then Diami also responsible for a fumble, okay? Honestly, the running back room, wouldn't mind seeing a reshape of that. Brian Robinson didn't show up. Austin Eckler getting older, not always healthy. We saw that. Yes, Earl?
Have you thought about looking at the running back coach?
The running back coach is Anthony Lynn. I trust Anthony Lynn based off of his experience as a running back coach.
For them to keep fumbling the football, there's got to be some type of
considering that we didn't have any running back fumbles until only against the Eagles, really. We only fumbled against the Eagles.
Yeah, we will really do a really good job of forcing fumbles.
Yeah,
we forced more fumbles than any other team in football this season.
Yeah, so
that is true.
We haven't had any other running back fumbles. So maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh here. The one interception by Jaden, like I said already, it was garbage time. He was trying to make stuff happen. You make bad throws when that happens. We already talked about this. Jaden did not lose this game. Jaden did everything he could within his power with the pieces that he had. And the pieces failed him, okay? The pieces failed him. Offensive line did okay.
Interception boy.
Don't you start.
It was a perfect moment. I just needed to. Sorry. I'm done. Continue.
Anyway. Don't you start either.
I'm sorry.
Anyway. Now I'm going to hear from Becca. Anyway, so, like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the first play of the game, the kickoff return. What happened? Luke McCaffrey muffed the kickoff return, right? Had the kneel down. That was a bad omen for me for the beginning, okay? That was a bad omen, okay? Then we go for it twice on fourth down, including once on a 4 and 6, right? And then we get to the 20-yard line, and we don't go for it on a 4 and 3. Make that make sense. Dan Quinn, what are you thinking? You had them on the ropes. If we would have gotten a touchdown off of that drive, like, the momentum was ours. But instead, we let them walk off with a field goal. Not that it mattered in the grand scheme of things, but maybe momentum would have been different, right? Joe Witt, let's call him out. Earl mentioned it earlier. Joe Witt, I haven't had much of a problem with you being in the box all year, but when our defense is playing that bad, you better get your butt down from that box and start yelling at people that need to be yelled at. Simple as that. It didn't happen, or at least not that I saw. Joe Witt, you need to be more involved. And I get that Dan Quinn's the defensive coach guy. Maybe Dan Quinn does it. But at the end of the day, your job as defensive coordinator is getting your guys in check, not just calm plays, okay? You have to do more. That includes technique on the run defense. Our run defense has been poor all year. Earl mentioned it when we hired Dan Quinn. It might be a weakness of ours. It proved to be too much of a weakness in this game, okay? I do want to note that we did handle pretty good running games up until this point. Tampa Bay has a good running back with the best rushing rookie running back in the NFL with Bucky Irving. We handled Jamar Gibbs and David Montgomery, best tandem running back in the NFL. Did a great job there. Well, not great, but we won the game despite of it, right? We could not do it against Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley in this offensive line, despite being beat up beyond belief, I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked that you guys got through that game as well as you did with that offensive line, okay? Not that we didn't bring pressure, because we did, but Jalen Hurts did what he had to do and didn't make a bad play. Kudos to Jalen Hurts. I thought he was going to crash and crumble. He did the opposite. I was wrong. I'll eat crow on that one, okay? But Joe Witt, you got to do better. You got to do better, okay? Simple as that. We got to shore up our run game. Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne. I mean, we missed Daron Payne this game, but I don't know if it would have made that big of a difference. Probably not, based off the score, right? So, like, both of you guys, for the money that you're making, not doing enough. Earl, you said you need a big body. Trade you one.
I'm cool.
Okay. So, my point is that we need, like we talked about the Commanders getting here, and I've said this nonstop during the playoffs. We are only in year one of a rebuild. We have the draft capital. We have the salary cap space. We have ways to get this team better, okay? And veterans saw how close we got with the ragtag group of kids that we got there. They're going to want to come in and make us better, okay? They're going to want to play for Jaden Daniels. They're going to want to play for Dan Quinn, okay? They're going to want to play for Adam Peters in this ownership group. Who doesn't want to play for Magic Johnson? Let's be clear. Like, any athlete knows who their worth knows who Magic Johnson is, okay? So, I expect our phones to be very busy during free agency. We'll talk about that more at a later date, though. Getting back to the game here. So, there was that. We talked about that breakout run by Saquon. Will Shipley, there's just no excuse. We gave up at that point. We gave up on that point, the Will Shipley big time rush. The penalties. I said this before on our mini episode, and I'll say it again. Marshawn Lattimore, why we trade for you if you're going to do that? Why did we trade for you if you're going to do that? You got smoked by Mike Evans. You did okay against Detroit. But to be fair, Detroit shot themselves in the foot more often than we got them, right? I think your penalties were a main momentum shifter in the game. I think they were. I really think they were. I'm not going to blame you for the whole game, but I think you definitely killed momentum for us on defense. That's what I'm going to say. And if they trade you this offseason, I'm not going to bat an eye. Outside of that, like Jaden Daniels, great leader. He's going to put his nose to the grindstone. I expect him to get better. Now, does that mean he's not going to have a sophomore slump? Who knows? We got to see what the pieces we got around him. Okay, and he's going to be hunted next year. But the fact is, I think for this season, he played as if he was a top 5 quarterback, and I still think he played just as well as Jalen Hurts did in this game, despite being depleted of weapons.
I'll let you have that, Lucas. Good.
Maurice don't want to fight.
So anyway, you can see my raw reactions in our special episode 79.5. We posted it Sunday. Check it out. I don't know, Mal and Earl, you guys saw. I mean, I don't know if Mal got to see the game, but I know Earl watched the game. Any thoughts?
I saw it.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
Lucas, you know what? I'm going to leave off with this. At least my team didn't get a 50 burger put on them.
Emotional damage.
True, but I'd rather have my owner than Jerry Jones.
Hey, you may get me right there. So, hey.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't have much to say about it. I mean, it was just a dominant win by Philly. And when it went to 14-3, I kind of at that point was this is probably it. Then you guys came back a little bit, but then it started to get out of hand again. I told you last week, Lucas, that it was going to be hard going into the link in the NFC Championship game. That team has a lot of experience in the playoffs. And, like you said, you're a first-year rebuild team. It's really hard to make it in those big moments. And a lot of those guys on the Eagles have been playing together for a while. Mm-hmm. So they know what it's like. But
And there's not going to be a lot of guys. I don't think there's going to be more roster turnover this year. Most of these, I'm not going to say most, but a good handful of these guys will not be back on the roster next year. Mm-hmm. Say bye-bye to Michael Davis.
You know what, Lucas, before we end this, I am stumped by Dan Quinn's decision to not go for it on that first drive.
Too. I would love to hear. I haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah, because you got to keep in mind, they went for a fake punt.
That was fun.
I mean, they went for a fake punt, so why not just go full?
That is a good question. I really want to know. That makes you think, what if the NFL scripted? Just saying.
Well, I mean, he makes his decisions. I mean,
he's the head coach, so that should have been a no-brainer to do. I'm saying this.
I don't disagree. Like I said what I said. Let's keep it moving, though.
Hold on. I gotta get this. I gotta get this. I gotta get this.
Turn next anyway, so let him go.
It's just gonna.
Player of the game. There is no Commanders player of the game. It goes to Saquon Barkley here. I'll give it to you on that one.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Lucas, first and foremost, y'all had a great season. Y'all exceeded expectations. I didn't just call y'all the football wizards just to call y'all the football wizards. I had a feeling something magical was going to happen with y'all. I think I'm going to keep it there just for the point because I don't like calling you by your actual name. But all jokes aside, y'all were able to turn this program around. Y'all cleared out anything of Dan Snyder. And on the real, though, that's something you and the fans definitely needed. And to have that belief without feeling like there's a huge monkey of just toxicity and volatile state on your back. Yeah. So with that
by the way,
going,
we want to hear my reaction to the Dan Snyder stuff. Make sure you guys listen to that half episode.
Dan Snyder can kick rocks.
Actually, no, it wasn't on the half episode. It was before that, I think. Yeah, it was my DC Football 101. Sorry, go ahead.
Gotcha. But yeah, he can kick rocks because I feel like Jerry Jones is his uncle. So
he's kicking rocks across the pond in London.
Yeah. But Maurice, for hats off to you guys for capping that off and representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. Your team has pretty much got what they need. They got the formula on what they needed. Now in the Super Bowl, I think y'all have the better team on paper. Y'all have more of the big plays on the way, and y'all have the coaches to go with it. I actually think from the past Super Bowl, I believe if you would have had a Vic Fangio with that team, no doubt in my mind, I think y'all would have won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. So this time around, I think y'all have the running back as well as the coaches, especially on defense, and then you got the players to go as well. So I think y'all got this in the bag for the most part. So, yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. You gotta at least help me represent the NFC East. I mean, we're here.
It's a determination. If I do it, it's for the sake of the podcast.
So give me another week and then we can talk about it. Okay.
If it's for the sake of the podcast, I don't know. Right now, I'm undecided at the moment. So, but if I'm looking at it on paper, y'all definitely have the edge over the Chiefs.
Listen, it's an indoor stadium, so we don't have to worry about them muddying up the field, making it slow like they did last time. That's a conspiracy theory, but hey, I'm with it.
Hey, they got the voodoo in New Orleans, so.
Oh boy, I just want the referees to give us a shot. That's all. Be fair.
No. I tell you what, the way that they got the Super Bowl logos is definitely a little nefarious on the colors.
Yes, that is. It is.
But anyway, if it's scripted,
it's right back to you, Earl.
Right back to me. Alrighty, let's see what I got here. Let's see.
You guys got a whole new coach, right?
Yes, sir. We actually do. The Dallas Cowboys.
It's a whole new world.
For Lucas. He actually can sing that song. You should definitely check him out. He can hit that note. Yes, you.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Nick Patera could sing that song, though.
Cool. But Dallas Cowboys, they hired Brian Schottenheimer as their new head coach. He's the 10th head coach in Dallas Cowboys history. He's actually a guy that I thought would actually get the position because I feel like right now it's his time. And with everything going on in the league, seeing how the run game is starting to come back, that's pretty much Shotty's go-to. And I believe with him being the head coach, I believe he's going to implement more of the run. And I think that's something that's been really missed with Dallas as a whole, especially on the offense. And it really shows that running backs matter from what you've seen from the postseason and through the season as a whole. I believe that he's going to implement this run game because I believe he's going to be the play caller. I got a chance to check out his introduction presser of him being announced as the head coach. He was knocking it out of the park. I felt like running through a wall for this guy. And then the guy to his left and then the guy to his right started taking over and just pretty much just bombed the whole presser. I was just really disappointed that Jerry took over the limelight, especially with how Brian Schottenheimer was just expressing what he wanted to do with the team. And I do have faith in this guy. I know not most Cowboy fans have the faith in him right now, but you got to give him a shot. Give him a chance. He's got about 25 years of experience, especially with coaching. This is his first time being a head coach. For some Cowboy fans, if you don't know, the guy that got you 2 of them, and technically 3, has 0 NFL head coaching experience, and that was Jimmy Johnson. So you got to give him a shot in order to see if it works. Now, my only thing with that is I hope Jerry can stay away from him and let him coach. My only wish, my birthday's next week. My wish for this team moving forward, Jerry and Steven, stay away and let the coaches coach. Now, it's a whole search of coaches being added to his staff. And in some guys in particular, I'm hearing things about Matt Eberflus for the defensive coordinator position and one of the Cardinals O-line coaches being coming over to be part of the offense as well for Dallas. That would be really key. And there's some other coaches along the line. I know they interviewed some for the head coaching position. I wouldn't mind seeing Leslie Frazier coming in as a DB coach for Dallas because I think he did a really good job at Buffalo. But back to Shotty, I felt that he was really getting everything that the fans wanted to know. And then Jerry just kind of just stole the limelight of that and really just dulled the press conference. So all I can say, Cowboy fans, give Brian Schottenheimer a chance. And we definitely he needs the support. But we also got to get our voice out there and put the pressure on the Joneses. And for that, I really think Jerry's feeling the pressure because the way he was talking, he had those crocodile tears and just really was just pressing. And it's like, man, we don't care about them tears and whatnot. You go out there and get us what we want for this team because it's long overdue. We're almost we're a little over 30 plus years without seeing a championship game. Last time I saw one, I was 4 years old. So it's just basically most fans haven't sniffed or seen a championship by this team. And I think the time is now for Shotty to be able to rewrite the wrongs of the past 8 coaches to really get this team where it needs to go. I know one goal for Brian Schottenheimer and what he talked about was his dad never got a Super Bowl trophy. That's his goal right now. He's going to get one in honor of his dad. And with what his knowledge and everything to get him to this point, I'm happy for Brian Schottenheimer and being the 10th head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. I digress.
So can I be honest with you? And what I'm about to say is not meant to be mean. I feel like Jerry's just getting a bridge head coach. I feel like this is a front man until this roster can start recovering financially from all the deals that you guys made. But mainly, it just doesn't feel like... I'm not saying that he's going to be a bad one, but like it's an unproven commodity. That's not usually Jerry's MO.
Okay, who do you think they should have went for?
Honestly, I thought Pete Carroll would have been the ideal person. I thought Pete Carroll fits that of an established head coach that has a winning culture. Now, would that have worked with Jerry? Probably not. But
okay,
at the end
who
of the
would be
day,
your
Jerry's
next
still
coach?
Stroking his ego with this hire. He's still stroking his ego.
Who would be your next coach?
My next coach after Pete Carroll?
Mm-hmm.
Of like the realistic, I mean, obviously, I think Dion would be an ideal coach, but I don't think he's available. So let's go with the people that I thought Robert Saleh made a little bit of sense.
Well,
I thought that
his track
too,
record as a head coach is not as good. I think he's better.
I think he's
going to
do well in San Francisco.
Yeah,
I think he'll do well there.
I think he's going back to what he knows, and that's scary because the Niners, their defense is stout, but when they got the right coordinator to do it, it was him.
Mm-hmm.
So, Earl, let me ask you this. There's been a bit of a contention online from Cowboys fans. 50% like the hire, 50% don't like the hire. Let me just ask you this. Is Brian Schottenheimer an upgrade or downgrade over Mike McCarthy?
I think it would be a slight upgrade. I think for him, I think he has more of a better connection with the players, especially being able to work with Dak Prescott as well as just being able to get better control. I think Mike McCarthy really wanted to call plays, but he really haven't called plays in years. So some of the stuff seemed kind of dense and stale. Now, for what Brian Schottenheimer can do, I think for him, it's time for Dallas to break away from the passing game, where the run game is the more focal point. In terminology of it, the old is the new, and the new is now the old. So the run game for Dallas, that was their golden ticket. And then they shifted to passing. Schottenheimer has a really good track record of running, especially with his time in Seattle. They pretty much had a top 5 type of running attack for about maybe 2 to maybe 4 years straight. And overall, I think for what he brings to Dallas is going to be one that really is going to get them on the right track, especially with running the football. I think he's going to have a mix of different stuff where I hope that it's not fully pass focused, more play action, in which more of Dak's strength. So I really don't know for a fact if it's going to be an upgrade, but I'll give him the slight edge by a little bit. But I definitely got to see what he does going into this season. And the Joneses got to allow him to do what he needs to. Now, it depends on the staff. If the staff is one that can really help this team, then I believe it's an upgrade. And I won't be able to make that judgment now. But if it comes out that he really doesn't have the team as a whole, then I can say it was a downgrade. I give Mike McCarthy his due for managing what the Joneses done. Now, I don't think he'll be able to handle as much as what Mike McCarthy was able to do to kind of flex his muscle on certain things. But he's gotta contest to not only winning, like he's really gonna have to get the fan base all on the same page. Jerry's not gonna do it. Stephen Jones is not gonna do it because they're too much butting heads against one another. But if he can bring what Dallas has been missing, I think it's going to spew those fans that's on the negative side that can bring that we all can be on the same page. Because right now it's 50-50.
I'll say that. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I'll say this. I hope the Joneses, after this weekend, know what's best and let their coaches coach and get out of the way. Because you had your offensive coordinator and you had your defensive coordinator in the NFC Championship game. They were both there with the Cowboys. And you let them both go.
You know,
kill them more than Dan Quinn.
I think it's just Jerry's ego. Now, I believe if Jimmy wasn't the head coach and this stuff was going on, I don't think Dallas would have saw the 3 that they had. They would have just had the 2 with Tom Landry. But if for him, his ego has just taken over. And right now, I don't know how many more years this man got. And he's trying to hold on to everything that is there to him tight.
Earl, is Jerry Jones borderlining narcissism with how he's running this team at this point?
Okay,
I'm asking. Is he borderlining, like, is he being narcissistic with how he's controlling this team?
Oh yeah, he's a clone of Al Davis. Like he's one of the main original guys in that alignment, honestly, with Dan Snyder. But he covers it up. He put a ton of cover on it. The one thing that I can say about it is that if he just kind of just understood what fans were mad about and then addressed it, then yeah, that's fine. But all we get is there's not another GM that can do it better than me. What owner would do that and just make the focal point about him, knowing that the fans are ticked off with what's happening with the team and it really needs to change? I'm hearing Michael Irvin just not okay with the Brian Schottenheimer hire. If that was so much to him, former players that talk about the Cowboys, if you want to run your mouth about what's going on with the team, you go to the head man. If y'all got to come together in a unison to form an intervention with this brother, whatever you need to do to get to that point so he can fully understand it in his 81, 82-year-old brain, then that is going to be the key to fully unlock what could happen, even for him to have a change of heart for redemption or allowing his son to try to figure something out. It's to the point now, I don't know who's running. I'm thinking it's Stephen Jones. It could be Jerry. There's too much voices going back and forth with these dudes that it's like Stephen Jones trying to save money, Jerry Jones trying to squander money. And it's like, if they work together, who knows what could happen? It could pass the torch to the son. But I don't even know if the son is fully going to be able to help the team because of so much of what Jerry's done. The team is built on a family organization, which is not run like a business, what it's supposed to be. It's more other things besides football. And putting X's and O's in the back burner has been hurting this team. Now, all I can say, yeah, he could have that narcissistic way, but it's one that people are wondering what it's going to be like after Jerry's gone. And right now, if he can fix it before he's gone, he would get everybody on one unison. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I just got to wait and see. I'm sorry for rambling, y'all. I'm done. I digress.
No, it's all good.
You had to get it out. So
Yeah.
let's go to Mal, and it's kind of related to the Cowboys, but also Mal, there's some interesting little smack talk going on the internet,
before
right?
I get to that, Malik Neighbors was named to the Pro Bowl today. So that's exciting for him and his rookie season. He comes to my neck of the woods next week.
That. I'll make an announcement on Twitter.
Yeah. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is injured, so Malik will be stepping in as the alternate for him. Dexter Lawrence has said that he will be going too, so we'll have 2 Giants repping in the Pro Bowl. That's one more than last year, guys. How exciting. But good for Malik on his rookie season, getting that little honor there. He'll have some fun next week down here in Orlando in the sunshine, so looking forward to that for him. But yeah, so let's get to the Twitter beef between Kayvon Thibodeau and Dez Bryant. So I actually brought this to Earl's attention last night when I told all of you guys. But basically what the feud was about was Dez was running his mouth about the Giants being stupid and everything with Saquon. And then Kayvon went back at him and basically they got into like this whole argument, and Kayvon kept saying that he was going to like come for any old head that started talking about the Giants. And Kayvon's known for this. He got into it with Joe Staley last year. Jeff Saturday, he got into it with 2 years ago in 2022. He just runs his mouth.
He was like that in Oregon as well.
Yeah. And he just shamelessly doesn't care. Like, he really just honestly went in on Dez. But you know, the craziest thing about it is that like, in the end, you know, whatever, hindsight's 2020. Obviously, you know, people are going to defend Dez, people are going to defend Kayvon, but a lot of Giants fans were defending Dez by saying that Kayvon should hit the weight room and train instead of sitting on Twitter and coming for Dez Bryant. So in the end, it's just smack talk. It really doesn't matter. Go ahead, Earl.
Yeah, with that, I kind of understood what Dez Bryant was talking about, where it was more that he was not going at the Giants players, but he was saying how the Giants players should go to the front office to talk about what is going on. So he was pretty much saying that the front office was silly for letting Saquon go. And then Kayvon jumped in and started going at it. And then Dez was like, look, I'm not trying to do this right now. And then it went there. So I was just like, Dez wasn't talking about you, where I don't think Kayvon understood the context and what he was saying, where it was like, no one is speaking up to what's going on with the front office, where there's so much going on that is like, where's his team going to go? Where's the identity is going to go? And so on from that. That's all Dez was talking about. But I think Kayvon just took it out of context.
Yeah, I honestly think that whole kind of thing stemmed from just the Giants taking a beating in the media all year. And, you know, like, we don't hear everything behind closed doors. I'm sure those guys heard it over and over, and they probably hear it all the time. And probably not even just from fans, probably from people that play in the league, people that have played in the league, the media. So I think, honestly, his reaction was probably based off of that. He just came to the defense. He got defensive.
No,
in the end. Yeah, in the end, totally not even... Just funny. Honestly, very entertaining. Like, following that, I was like eating popcorn, like scrolling through my phone. Like, it's just ridiculous because the Giants don't have anything else going on right now. So why not have drama? Because we're a circus. So that's always fun. Hopefully that will one day change, but I'm not looking so hopeful. So we'll see. But that's all I got for my dumpster fire team.
No.
I have one question for you, Mal.
Yeah.
This is a lighthearted question.
I'm ready.
Saquon Barkley now in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is John Mara getting any sleep?
I hope he's not sleeping a minute. I hope he never sleeps again. I hope that he lost sleep
I
since
assume
the
he
minute.
didn't get any sleep.
Yeah. I hope he lost
He signed
sleep.
with the Eagles.
Yeah. I don't think he's been sleeping since last free agency. So we'll see. But no, I really hope he ain't getting any sleep. I hope he's watching this and he's like seething. I hope he wakes up tomorrow and just fires Joe Shane just because he feels like it.
Now, I do appreciate the fact that you said that you're not rooting for Saquon, but there are some Giants fans who are rooting for Saquon.
Which is fine. I don't blame them. And I mean, at this point, it's such a weird situation where, like you said, nobody wants to see the Chiefs three-peat. They're getting tired of, Taylor Swift and Kelsey and Mahomes, and the refs always doing something for them. So I think a lot of it comes with the fatigue of that. And, in the end, what it comes down to is you have the Chiefs, who are a huge, circus, and, media loves them because of Taylor and all that. But then you have, the boys from Philly who are actually playing really solid football, whereas the Chiefs are getting lucky based on calls and some here kind of suspect plays. So I can see why people are rooting for Philly. I get it. They want, in this case, Philly is the good guys, but since we're rivals, you guys can't be the good guys, so.
Yeah, it's basically for what the Chiefs are. They're pretty much Goliath, while the Eagles are David. In that regard. But
in any other situation, I would have been rooting for the Eagles. But unfortunately, I'm a Giants fan, so that's sacrilegious.
And the only way that I would root for the Eagles, if my conscience on my right shoulder is for the sake of the podcast, I'm I don't know. For the sake of the podcast, I don't know, man.
I will say this. I will be rooting against the Chiefs. Can't be rooting for you guys.
But I will root against the three-peat.
But the only thing I can tell you, with how the league is fully grasping Mahomes and Lucas and Maurice, you could probably answer this, or not right now. First, say, if they do win this Super Bowl, would you consider Mahomes the Jordan of the NFL?
No. I think Mahomes is more of the LeBron James of the NFL. Or no, actually, you know what? No, I won't say that. I'll say he's the Steph Curry of the NFL.
Well, that would make Tom Brady the Jordan, right?
No, Tom Brady is the LeBron. Joe Montana is the Jordan.
Montana's probably the Jordan because he didn't lose the Super Bowl.
Fair.
Yeah.
So is Jaden Daniels the Wembanyama?
One can hope.
I'm gonna call him Allen Iverson for right now.
Allen Iverson? Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Right, I'll take that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm all finished up, so you can move on to the mailbag if you want, Maurice.
All right, so we got 2 questions for the mailbag this week, and one of them is more so a rant, and the other one...
I think I might know what
is. And the other one is a kind of a dated question, but I will answer it anyway. Let's get to my question first. John DeLions, thank you again on Facebook. Thank you for replying to the mailbag. Will Jalen Hurts shut up the haters, doubters, naysayers on Sunday? Will he even play? Well, he did play.
Well, he did play, and he shut up the doubters and
the haters and naysayers. He really did.
He rolled it up in the package and mailed it to the haters. And
now, if you were going to answer this before the podcast, Maurice, what would your answer have been?
I would have said yes. I have faith in my quarterback.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually think Jalen Hurts could have played even better, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he took the knee brace off before he stepped out on the field. So I think that was a clear sign.
Did that make you nervous? Did that make you nervous?
No, but thank you for bringing that up, Earl. I actually thought that was a little okey doke.
No, I think he was ready.
You thought that you guys were playing them little mind games with us. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if Washington opened up their mouth on how they were going to tackle this man, he was like, all right, bet. And got a touchdown and everything.
Jalen Hurts, he did the Cam Newton gif. When he was like, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Jalen Hurts. I thought that was a little okey doke on his part. I thought that was fair game.
Oh no, I looked at that. I was like, oh yeah, he ready. Because when I saw him take it off, I was like, he
all
ready.
Week we were talking about his knee not being 100%, and then he just took it off pre-game, and then next thing you know, he was moving fine.
Mm-hmm.
He was moving perfectly fine. So that was a little okey doke on Jalen Hurts' part. Fair game. I mean, it's part of the game. I ain't got no problem with that. All right, so the other question, this is from Twitter. This is from Maple. Shout out Maple.
Go Maple. Go off.
This wasn't even a question, really. Shotty, let me read it as he would read it exactly. With the frustration.
Because I felt I understood the pain.
All right. I had some experience now reading scripts. Shotty has a legendary dad, sure, but he's a nobody. Nobody wants to interview him. He's 7-10 and didn't call any plays, but Jerry wants him to be head coach? Just another yes man promotion by Jerry. Like Kyle Hurts said, the Cowboys are slowly turning into the Jaguars with BS coach after BS coach.
Go
Shout out
off,
Maple.
King. Go off. Speak your truth.
That boy speaking his mind. He know what he's talking about. Basically, and this is for Maple and those Cowboy fans who think Shotty is not right at the head coach right now. For me, can y'all give him a shot just for a couple games? If it doesn't seem like the way that it is, just be like, I hate them. They messed it up. But you also got to count that when they hired Jimmy as the head coach, did y'all really think he was going to get the team where it needed to go? Where they were 1-16, 1-15, and then get to the postseason and next, back-to-back Super Bowl champs? It takes time, but it's also to understand the levels that go along with it. Now, I could tell you this. If Jerry and Steven step away, who knows? Sky's the limit with the coaches. Or he could coach in spite of the Joneses. But you definitely got to give him a shot.
Earl, I don't mean to interrupt you. We have breaking news.
What was that?
Zach Bond will not be going to the Pro Bowl. Instead, Bobby Wagner will be replacing him in the Pro Bowl.
Oh, that's no news. When you go to Super Bowl, you shouldn't be at the Pro Bowl.
I'm just saying it has been announced.
It
has been announced. Okay.
And I was cooking too. Gosh,
yeah, you were cooking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You messed up my meal, sir.
It's breaking news when it's the Commanders.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My bad. I forgot.
Yeah.
I realized that from episode 66. I get it. I got it.
It's actually 67. It was actually 67.
67? Oh,
yes.
My bad. It was prerequisite. My conscience. God darn it, conscience. All right. But
what? Were you just yelling at your conscience?
He was.
Look, please just give Shotty a shot. Just see how he does. Who knows? Might not disappoint. But we got to support whichever coach it is.
He said he might not disappoint.
Like, he might not disappoint. But, hold on. Not even mention that. What about all those fans that wanted Kellen Moore?
Look, I don't know
now
which of your fan base actually want Kellen Moore. That I just know.
Look, when I tell you the expansion.
Before you go, Earl, he's still in consideration for the Saints head coaching job. They're coming to Philadelphia to interview him tonight.
Is he really?
Yep, he is.
I thought. Yeah. I honestly think that's Mike McCarthy's job to lose.
Oh, they did that with Dallas. It's free game for everybody.
Yeah, that shouldn't be allowed.
They did that with Dallas, so it's fair. But I do believe tampering with the coaches when they have games, it shouldn't be allowed.
I don't think head coaching positions should be made in the postseason. I think it needs to happen once the postseason's over.
Couldn't agree more. Let me finish my point so we can go to the next segment. The situation I have is that I'm cool with having Brian Schottenheimer. Were y'all cool with having Kellen Moore? Were y'all cool with Leslie Frazier as a head coach? Now, I'm naming these coaches off of just a situation, especially with their track record as a head coach. You got him. You got Robert Saleh. And then in some regard, you also got to look at if they would have went for Mike Vrabel. Vrabel was too tough for them Joneses. They tucked their tail between their legs dealing with him. So it's just an understanding that whoever coach you got in there is going to be questions. If it was Belichick, it was going to be questions. It was Dion, it would have been questions. If it was Leslie Frazier, it would have been questions. Robert Saleh, questions. And even if they wanted to, and I doubt this would happen, if they would have called Jimmy Johnson from the Fox Sports and be like, hey, man, I want to bring you back as a coach, do you think that would go well? It would be excitement. It would definitely be headliners, but they're going to have questions. So every coach that comes to Dallas is going to have questions. Y'all just got to wait, be patient, see how it plays out. I mean, just give him a chance. I digress.
All right.
Heard
Give
that.
the man a chance. But Earl, I know
It's
you
time.
just got done.
It's my time.
Yeah.
I get it, Conscience. Yeah, it's my time. Yes, sir. Yeah, there we go.
I think the Cowboys news is hitting Earl a little bit harder than we expected, y'all.
Earl
no,
might
I
be
had the
losing
conscience. It was like I was using the left side of my brain for this one. I've been using the left side of my conscience here. It was fine, but I needed the right side for this one. For this one today.
Episode 80 officially broke Earl.
Yeah, Earl's broken.
It's not.
It's okay.
It's not. I'm broken about the coaches. I'm broken about the Joneses and some of these fans, where I feel like their anger is being spirited to something completely off track. Wherein sometimes you gotta come together in unison, have a come to Jesus moment to be able to help the coach that's there. Now, if he turns out good, all those fans that jumped off the boat and can't swim, especially this one fan that said he is foregoing his loyalty to the Cowboys to go to Detroit. Godspeed, don't come back.
Yeah, girl, bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Girl, bye.
But we're gonna talk about who's that football player. Yay. This football player played with the Dallas Cowboys back in the 2016 season. This player had 1 pass deflection, 1 fumble recovery, 145 total tackles. 93 solo tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 2 QB hits. Their career awards is a 2-time Pro Bowler, a 1-time All-Pro, and a 1-time NFL Top 100. Maurice and Mal, who's that football player?
Okay, it's definitely a linebacker. I'm going to go with the kid from Penn State, Sean Lee.
Maurice?
Actually, I'm going to go with Sean Lee as well.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
What was that guy's name? For the Cowboys, his last name was Smith, but he was like kind of compared to JPP.
Jalen Smith.
Was he like? I think that was him.
Was it the one with the dreads?
Yeah, I think it was Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith. So which one?
Jalen Smith. Just to be different.
All right,
Malice
correct with Sean Lee.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been different, Maurice. You had it right the first time.
You had it right. I was looking at you. I was like, why are you going to change it? Why don't... I saw it in your eyes. I was like, what are you doing, bro? You had it. Yeah, Sean Lee was a top-notch linebacker, and I just feel like the injury he took really just hurt his time, especially playing on the field. I actually wouldn't mind bringing him back as a linebackers coach with the Cowboys because I think he can spread some of that knowledge to the linebackers because we definitely got some linebackers that are young, but also he can work with those guys, especially bring like a player experience. So kudos to you, Sean Lee. Salute.
Yeah, Mal's been on a roll lately with these.
Yeah, she's been cooking.
Oh, I know. I've been cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a little bit more of my research recently because, you guys always get me with these questions. So
I'm proud of you. I thought it was the chicken cutlets.
The chicken cutlets. I haven't had chicken cutlets in a while. I'm boycotting because I hate Tommy DeVito. But anyway, moving on.
Now?
Ooh.
I mean, he kind of ruined my franchise for like 9 years, but whatever.
9 years?
With the draft pick.
With the Jaden Dan. Yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
that's fair.
I'm done with this team, man.
Well, let's talk about the poll questions.
Yeah, poll questions. So we have 2. I'll do the one that we posted before the NFC Championship game, which honestly, this result kind of surprised me, but it only has 4 votes. So who's been performing better in the playoffs, Jaden Daniels or Saquon Barkley? So according to my results here, 3 people voted for Jaden Daniels and 1 voted for Saquon Barkley.
I think up until that game, you could make the argument.
I voted for Saquon.
I voted for Saquon, obviously. But wait a minute. I thought I did check this out. It was posted twice, wasn't it?
No, we posted it on different social medias.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
So, on Twitter, 75% said Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, I can pull up like the Facebook.
Yeah, I gotta find the Facebook one.
The Facebook one won't that's the only other one that got like real traction.
Producing for their teams and stuff. It's just you
gotta
look.
Definitely were.
Yeah, you just gotta look.
I got you now. I'll pull up the Facebook one.
You definitely did post it twice.
One
had 4 votes and one had 6 votes.
I don't remember that.
He's got it.
Yeah, look up, Lucas.
Oh, is it the top one?
I don't see that one.
So on Facebook, 60% said Jaden Daniels, 40% said.
Oh yeah, we did post it twice, and it was a 50-50 on the other one.
That's weird. Split. I didn't post it twice. Did I post this one?
I didn't post that question. You posted that question. I posted the Commanders question for the week.
I don't think I posted.
You have eggnog, Lucas?
Maybe I did. I don't know.
Yeah, it's some eggnog.
Probably had some cheese pizza with it too.
Yeah, some mozzarella sticks.
Okay, guys, I am not feeling well. If you couldn't tell, my voice is off. I am not feeling well. Okay,
all right, let me get to the Commanders poll question, okay? So, can the Washington Commanders change their name if they win the Super Bowl? Yes or no? Everyone really said yes. But that's not happening this year. We'll see if that happens.
They just want a name change regardless.
Yeah.
True. I mean, they should work to get the logo back before they do the
it's so tricky, man. Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk about the logo tonight. Let's keep on going.
Right. Yeah, go ahead. Close us out with some trivia, Lucas, and then we'll have Maurice preview a little bit.
For the week.
Stat nerd.
Hey, somebody got to be a stat nerd among us, right? So before this game, I posted this question. Now the game results changed this question, but the Philadelphia Eagles are 4-0 in the playoffs when Jalen Hurts throws blank or fewer pass attempts.
Oh God!
So Matt, what do you think it is?
Blank or fewer?
What do you think the blank
is? Is this the pass attempts?
Just the pass attempts.
So I'm thinking in terms of yards. I would say it's probably below 200 yards. So
I mean, that's not the question, but okay.
I know that's not the question. How many attempts does he average?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Is it per game, or you just want like the whole
per game? Like in these 4 games, when he's 4-0, he has thrown blank amount of pass attempts.
I'm going to say 24 to 25 pass attempts. I'm going to say 25.
You got to choose one, sir. 24 or 25?
25.
Talk about the attempts, so I'm going to go 29.
Okay.
I'm going to go 27.
Okay. So before this game, Earl was right. It was 25.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was close.
Now, after this game, obviously, he had 20, 30 some odd pass attempts. So
28.
So, technically, he broke his record. But, before then, it was 25 or fewer. And before you asked Maurice, yes, that was a low jab there from me. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, at least you admit it.
Hey, look. It doesn't matter if he's passing for less. We were talking about how Jared Goff was he is going awesome. Man only threw for 15 pass attempts. Because he had Sonic and Knuckles and Gibbs and Montgomery. So, I mean, he's got Saquon. But, Maurice, I'll tell you this. They better get the other running backs involved. Because I did see that Saquon was ailing a little bit of an injury.
Yeah, he had a little slight calf injury, but he looked fine towards the end of the game. But like I said, he only had 15 carries. Hopefully the next 2 weeks, because they have a week off, he can get healthy.
I would rev up for Gainwell and Shipley. I would get those guys.
Gainwell went out with a concussion, so hopefully he's back before the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, at least get Shipley involved. I think that'd be a nice little 1-2 punch.
Yeah. But just to finish this up, Nick Sirianni, at the trophy ceremony, he's like, doesn't matter about stats. Who cares about stats when Jalen Hurts just wins football games? And that's the bottom line, really.
It's a team game. It's not just
one.
Just
win, baby, win. All right, so with that, let's wrap up.
Yeah, Maurice, why don't you give us a little brief preview of Super Bowl 59, the rematch? Yeah,
I'll go more in depth with this next week because we have a week in between. Eagles versus Chiefs. This is a revenge game for us. This is indoors, New Orleans.
About to make a name for yourself here.
Yeah, we're definitely going to make a name for ourselves. Listen, I kind of said most of it earlier. We have the more talent on paper. Defensively, we're a better team. Offensively, we have more weapons. This is a game. If we can, and I said the same thing, and Lucas said the same thing about the championship game. It comes down to turnovers and time of possession. Now, in the Commanders game, it was even. It was like 30-29 in possession time. But the turnovers matter. They will always matter. Now, Jalen Hurts is always
into that too.
Yeah, and Jalen Hurts has always been really careful, sometimes too careful with the football. But Eagles do not turn the ball over. They just don't. And they have to keep that momentum going, keep that energy going in the Super Bowl. Don't turn the ball over. Listen, on that Chiefs defense, there's one guy you got to look for, and that's Chris Jones, right up the middle. Now, he's a problem. Now, we got our own problem with the middle, too, and that's Jalen Carter. But Chris Jones can really affect the game. It's going to come down to if our offensive line is healthy. Landon Dickerson, he had a knee injury. He toughed it out for the first half. Jurgens had a back injury, but he toughed it out. So if both of those guys in the next 2 weeks can get healthy and shore up that middle of our O-line, I like our chances. Now, Andy Reid, tremendous coach. One of the greatest coaches of all time. I know personally. He's been here. He has the advantage over Sirianni. Sure. That's obvious. But when it comes to our coordinators, Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio, have to put their stamp on this one. They really do. And hopefully Kellen Moore, if he does get the same job or if he doesn't, I want him 100% focused this week and next week on getting this offense to execute the right way. If this offense executes, we're going to be tough to handle for any defense. And if Vic Fangio can get these guys focused, listen, I got a lot of faith in our defense. So that's the quick matchup for right now going into the Super Bowl. Earl, what you got?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the key X factor in this is Vic Fangio, because with what the Chiefs have, they only got Kelsey and Xavier Worthy. I don't think Pacheco is fully healthy. Mm-hmm. Those are, if you pretty much can take away Kelsey and have Mahomes start being on skates, I think y'all definitely got it in the bud. And I think the coordinator, especially on defense, is going to be the key factor in this.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure. And we got 2 weeks to talk about it, so Maurice can relax next weekend. Pro Bowl weekend next weekend. Make sure you guys tune in to see some of your faves. But let's wrap this up. So thank you guys for listening to the podcast tonight. We always appreciate it. Please make sure you follow us on Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Music, 13 Rings and NFC East Podcasts. Make sure you follow us on our socials, Facebook, Twitter, or X, Instagram, at 13 Rings and NFC East Podcast. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, 13 Rings and NFC Podcast. Thank you guys again for listening. Everybody have a good one.
Adios.
Peace.
Blessings.